Neil, did you check out the new Frasier sitcom? I mean, you heard about it, the new reboot of Frasier?
No, what's happening?
You watched the old Frasier
Yeah,
show?
of course. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, yeah.
of
So they're doing like not a reboot, but I think like a sequel series
Okay.
kind of thing. Yeah. So looking forward to it. So let's see how it turns out. But not a lot of the major characters are there though.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm thinking about the old shows we grew up with.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Which ones do you grew up with?
So so many of them.
Right.
If you take me back to the earliest ones, I would say do you remember the show called Saved by the Bell?
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty much the same
Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez, and then I can't get the guy's name. Yeah, Tiffany Amber. I remember. Yeah. You can ask me about the women. You can't ask me about the men. Man. No, so there's Tiffany Amber Thiessen was the most. So I think that's the first memory I have of comedies.
But what about like Gimme a Break and Benson and
yeah, but not
Sanford and Son, Jeffersons?
No. Man, you're making me sound
okay. That was like a little way back. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean I know Mom and Dad kind of watched a couple of shows, but if you ask me for the ones which I was I would say addicted to, or the things that I watched every single time was, I think the first one that would bring back to memory was Saved by the Bell.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
So that
was like our teenage.
Yeah, our teen years, no?
Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's not a comedy, but
yeah, it's not a comedy, but there was like Melrose Place and all of that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now we're getting into the soap opera. Yeah, Bold and Beautiful. And,
no, I remember Saved by the Bell. I remember. You remember the show Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
You watched that one?
Yeah, that's like 90s, right?
That's early 90s. Yeah, I start off with the 90s. Then there was Ray Romano. Home Improvements.
Yeah.
You remember that to Tim Allen? That was one good. I looked forward to.
And don't forget the Tool girl.
Pamela Anderson. Yeah. That's probably what got us all into Home Improvement. Yeah. It was an opportunity.
I didn't somehow fancy Tim Allen. Somehow, I was more like Jim Belushi.
Okay.
According to Jim.
Yeah.
And those were, I don't know, comedy nowadays, it's not the same, like before. I don't know, I don't watch a lot, honestly. Even I haven't watched like How I Met Your Mother.
Really?
And there's a new one, How I Met Your Father as well.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I haven't really watched it now.
So as far as my addiction goes, and this is probably the longest addiction that I had, was comedies, Friends. Which everyone, of course,
Friends suck.
Yeah, okay, you're gonna get a lot of hate mail after this, okay?
Sorry, watch people. But I'm a Seinfeld fan, yeah.
You were Seinfeld, was it?
Yeah.
So watched every episode?
Oh, yeah. It's like, I must have watched it like 10 times or 20 times, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Friends, I don't know. Somehow it's never connected with me. I don't know. That and Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I kind of watched a little bit of it, of Big Bang. I mean, I watch it now, I say more than those days. But Friends, I was so hooked on to it, Carrie, that I used to actually buy the VHS tapes. No. Remember? I mean, Dad used to go crazy with me because he'd be like...
But do you... Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but do you remember back then, right, in school?
Yeah.
You had these libraries.
Yeah,
and they would actually rent out tapes and all these comedy shows. Yeah. These guys would actually record them. Yeah. And you could get Bill Cosby and
those
Growing Pains and
exactly.
all of that. Amazing.
Wow. Which was the name of it? The one that we used to go to when you were in school?
There was Levick Library.
And there was the other guy next door to him. Which we were famous for being there.
Cambridge. There was Cambridge Library where we would get the magazines and the comic books.
Yeah.
And
the decent magazines at least.
Yeah. Didn't I see you with a Cosmo? And then Levick was magazines and comic books, but they had video cassettes. Mainly actually the TV shows.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't get TV shows, right? It was all we were living with Doordarshan back then.
Yeah.
So there was no Star TV, no satellite television. So we could get these on tape. Amazing those days, like VHS, all the episodes, and it was like bootleg tapes in a way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Bootleg.
No, but going back to what you were saying about Friends, so I was so addicted to it, Carrie. I used to actually, after the season got over, they used to have these, what were they called? The full set. You get like 6 or 7.
Like the box set.
The box set, the box
collector's
set.
box set.
I used to actually pick them up kind of the minute they were out. So I was hugely addicted to Friends.
Oh, you mean like season by season they have these box sets, right?
Yeah. So if memory serves me well, it was, for example, you would get 4 episodes per VHS.
Okay. Okay.
And then you would get, if
Wasn't
there was...
it like DVD time? I think Friends came in the
No,
DVD
maybe
age.
I didn't have a DVD.
Okay. Okay, all right.
The
Okay.
premium class, like
My
you
bad.
perhaps.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No, I had the VHS tapes and I bought all of them.
Friends was okay. Anyway, maybe
Anyways,
it was VHS, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So anyways, good. So you're looking forward to the Fraser one, huh? You're looking, when are they going to come up with this?
I think in like 3 months' time, I think they're
Okay.
going to like launch it. I don't know on which network, but Friends, I think, is still running on Netflix.
Friends
From
runs
understanding.
everywhere. I mean, that's one of the...
At least Seinfeld is there on Netflix. That much I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I still watch it on.
I think it's there on all platforms. like
At least
Amazon
in the
and all.
Middle East, it's Netflix. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't know elsewhere. I think like you have these networks in US, right? Hulu and all of
Yeah.
them. So I think they show these old gems, I would call them,
Yeah.
like television series. I don't know. They should come up with actually a network where they would show all the old stuff, right? There are so
Yeah.
many series.
Yeah.
That would be lovely to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah. So coming back to the show,
Yeah,
I think
good.
we have a
So our
very
guest is
special
probably
guest.
wondering what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't speak that language.
These
I wonder
oldies
if
over
you
here
Yeah. Oh, my God.
reminiscing about the good old days. Let's come back to 2024.
Yeah,
or 2023 more so like.
Yeah. And what about the guests? I mean, you want to...
Yeah, so today we
Talk about
have
the
today we have with us Esther.
Hello.
Welcome to
Welcome.
Kiss Me I'm
Thank
Goan, Esther.
you.
We're so happy to have you. As always,
There's no kissing though, right?
No.
I think you already know that you're going. So
I'm sure when you got the invite, that must have been something to worry about, right?
I was
What-
like, why kiss me? I'm going.
actually, nobody's asked us this question.
Nobody asked us, yeah.
until
We-
today.
we
Yeah,
are
you're the first
first
guest to ask this, but
it's the brainchild of Carrie, actually.
not really the brainchild. Actually, I would say it's taken from the Irish. They had this thing called "Kiss Me, I'm Irish"
Really?
in Ireland. Yeah, they've had like T-shirts and it's on beer mugs and things like that. So,
Interesting.
yeah, and long ago I had this idea where I wanted to design T-shirts and like very Goan focused T-shirts, like maybe feature choris or something like that. and I wanted a T-shirt which said "Kiss me, I'm Goan." So that's where it happened. And well, it didn't happen. The T-shirt thingy, the business, it didn't happen though. I didn't work on it because a lot of copyright issues and it's a lot of work. I mean, in terms of legalities.
Yeah.
So, and then, fast forward now, podcast, and I just thought of this and I told Neil, like, oh, wow, this is a cool name.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Misleading.
Just to show people that Goans are out there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
Yeah.
the idea is just we want to celebrate people like you who've done well.
Yeah.
And of course, just to go back a little bit on the roots to say, okay, fine, it was Goa in the past. And of course, you're moving forward to be an international superstar, hopefully, one of these days.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Of
Thank
course,
you.
Yeah, but
touch wood.
but before we get into like the the chat, just want to explain to the audience that she's performed with she's kind of not, I wouldn't say opened up, but performed with Jessie J, and she's performed for the Red Fest in 2016 along with Trey Songz and Adam Lambert, and she's also played at the Beats on the Beach in 2016 with Big Sean and Shanga Paul, and she's also won the Emirates Woman of the Year award.
I was
in 2000.
nominated for the.
No,
Young
nominated.
Talent.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have been an
okay.
honor, but
All
it was,
right,
it was
all right,
still
all
an
right,
honor
all
to
right,
be.
okay,
you
okay,
know.
In our eyes, the oldies over here, you won it. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she's not only that, she's released 2 albums. That's one is Solitaire, that was in 2016, and My Own Way in 2020 with Universal Music.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So we're going to start off with Are You Goin'? So
Yes. Yes, I'm going.
great. So tell us a little bit about the Goan part of you.
So for me, it's my family. My mom's Goan, and I used to go back to Goa at least once a year to visit my grandparents, my grandma, who's no longer with us.
Do you know which village like your mom is from?
Yeah, we're from Tivim.
Tivim. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, right.
Yeah.
That's in the north, right?
Yeah,
It'll be in the north.
Okay.
Because we are southerners, yeah. We're the rednecks.
So I was,
Hold on to your horse. Yeah.
so I was born in Goa, but we came here when I was
really?
like,
You were born in Goa?
yeah,
Ah, okay,
yeah,
wow.
but I came here when I was 7 months. So
Okay.
does it count? I don't know.
Well, technically,
She
just
went
small-
straight to Oman chips.
Yeah. So something similar is my daughter was, I met my wife in Goa and we got married in Goa. And then for my daughter's birth, we moved to Bombay. So she was actually born in Bandra in Bombay, which is, kind of a little bit of an upmarket place. And so today, whenever I tell her you're Goan, she keeps on saying, I'm not a Goan, I'm from Bandra, I'm a Bombay girl. So
Why? Goa is amazing to be.
yeah, but Bandra is a little bit more upmarket. It sells better. At least it comes across better when she says it. I'm a Bandra girl more than saying I'm a
Really?
Goan
Yeah, I think
baby.
it's because I've noticed this with the Bombay the crowd. They're very proud of where they're from, be
I
it
think
Bandra or
India as a whole, we're very patriotic. Everyone loves being from India.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like patriotic about my village.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, so it's
Chinchini?
Chinchini,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have the best cutlet pav sandwich and
debatable.
Yeah. So yeah, back then when I was growing up, right, like I used to like tell people, oh, we are the village, we have a travel agency, we have a tiny shop, and I used to be
Wow.
big man.
Hey, but going back, we still have to discuss. We discussed it in episode 1 or episode 2, is it?
Yeah.
Where Anish, you mentioned that the cutlet pav in Chinchini, they put egg on it or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
And he was like,
they were
blasphemy, and he was like, yeah.
That sounds so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
it
there
sounds.
you go.
It sounds.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you actually. I forgot to ask you about it. I never realized that there was a different one.
Every time I go down, I have to get this from this food truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So yeah, people.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
so getting back.
coming back, yeah.
I mean, I can talk about food all day if you want to.
So what's we're going to talk about. Okay, what's your favorite food? Like any
Mine
Goan
Is when
dishes?
my mom makes kafriel.
Is it?
Kafriel
okay.
and palau. Like, that's my favorite meal of all time.
That was like the meal for. Now it's like almost every day. Would you say?
Yeah.
Like
Really?
back then it was like only feast time.
Yeah.
Like when there was like a village feast
Mm-hmm.
or some birthday or some communion or something like that, you would have these things. But now it's like, every second day or I guess back then it was like, I wouldn't say we couldn't afford it or something like that, but people would have it on like special occasions, like a pulao, chicken shakuti, then sorpotel, but now it's like on a daily basis. But yeah,
I don't.
But yeah.
I don't think I have it on a daily basis.
No.
For me,
Yeah,
it's special occasions.
So I mean, for example, when you and mom are celebrating Christmas, New Year
Yeah.
occasions, is it like a Goan feast at home, or is it a mix kind of thing? Do you have your lasagna or your pasta, or is it more like the Goan
turkey. I'm guessing
or the
turkey.
Or
I'm
is
not
it,
a
or is it
turkey
like
person.
is mom predominantly like a
Thank you.
Goan food?
Even I'm not a turkey person. I don't know what with people.
No, so
but
is mom predominantly? I mean, are you guys predominantly eating Goan food at home, or is it? a mix?
It's generally a mix in terms
Okay.
of like Christmas. Earlier, like when I was quite young, my mom used to like make all the Goan sweets.
Okay.
But it's only been the two of us. So every time she made it, it was like we had so many sweets because you can't make Goan sweets and just make like one bowl.
Yeah,
if you make
true.
Goan sweets, you make it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So when she'd make it, we just had sweets in our house for like 2-3 weeks. So we slowly stopped that because
Okay.
we couldn't eat it all.
Yeah.
No, but wouldn't you? You would give out like it was called kuswad, I think. Kuswad, the right term, wherein you.
It's the ones that look like worms.
No,
You
it's
know
not.
the
It's not
fork
the
that
sweet.
you like.
That's kalkal. No. Yeah, kalkal.
No.
It's
Yeah,
like
kalkals. Kalkals.
Kalkal.
Yeah,
Those ones,
kalkals, yeah. So you would have like kalkals, nyorios, and bibinka, and dosh, dodol, and you would put it on a tray, right, and give it to a family,
Yeah.
a relative or friend, you would
Yeah.
go to their house and like exchange trays
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
was so the thought process. This is used to happen even for me when I was growing up. We used to make a lot of sweets at home,
Yeah.
but it was not for us. It's not for our consumption. It was for
Yeah.
the neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, so I was living in a place where it was a lot of Catholics and a lot of Muslim community. We were discussing about this before, where we said, you know, during the Christmas and New Year and stuff like that, we made all these sweets at home in bulk, like how mom was making for you. But it was me going over to friends' house and saying, okay, here's some sweets. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And they returned the favor when it was Eid. So
Yeah.
whenever there was like there are a couple of the first Eid and second Eid, there used to be all, their home cooked food or their delicacies, which were brought across and which we look forward to a lot.
Yeah.
So I think what mom was trying to recreate for you was that thing, where you create
Yeah.
sweets and you have a lot of it and you distribute it and give it to
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah, that's the normal kind of custom.
Yeah. I don't know if I like sharing my sweets though.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, even back home, I remember growing up, the other ladies from the same village would come home and assist my mom. They would all make, and there's like this full table, everyone
Yeah.
making the kalkal,
Yeah.
nyorio, all were
I
like,
used to sit on the floor and do
right,
it.
right,
you know?
right. So there you go. Yeah, but now I don't know whether it's still there. It's now you would buy like ready made, right?
Yeah, you
would
go to Caesars, you know,
Caesars,
you get the
yeah,
plum
in
cake.
Dubai, you have Caesars. Yeah.
No, I would love. I mean, I've not been to Goa for a feast, and I remember the good old days. We used to go for, used to get your cutlet paos, your
all the curry
choris pao.
bodies and all that. You're talking about
but
the
I'm talking about the food.
the food, okay.
The sausage bread, sausage pulao, or all these kind of stuff. That was such a great experience. Walking into the streets. You have some few games. It's like I don't know how to put it. It's like the feast. You have the
You
full
mean the
location.
fair? You're talking about the fair.
The fair, yeah.
Have you ever experienced it? Have you ever gone like for a village feast or like?
Do you you guys traveled a lot to Goa during growing up?
I used to go once a year at least.
Okay.
But I don't know if I remember a fair. I remember being on a ship, on a cruise.
Ah, okay,
like
okay.
one of those, or like a dance.
I was going to
okay.
ask
Yeah.
you. Have you
dances
been to
are
dances?
common, yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
love the dances.
All right.
It's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
You
And
guys used to go Christmas time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
you
that's
get
the
Christmas
best time.
too,
You don't want to
yeah.
go during the rains, and then
Yeah.
you can't do much. It's all mucky.
Yeah.
You know?
And was it with live bands, the dances, or
Of
was
course.
it DJs? Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
You
good, good.
start. I think they usually like start with a live band, and then they go to the DJ.
Yeah, I guess today.
Yeah,
but,
it's
Yeah.
moving. But the good old days, it was just the band.
Yeah.
And then the band used to do a set,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 songs, and then everyone took a breather to have their drinks. And then they came back up, and then so usually it used to start with the slow music, and then towards the end, when everyone's high as a kite, everyone's like doing dancing and jumping and stuff like that. So yeah, Goan dances were predominantly just the bands, but today there's a lot of. So what they do is they play into these slots in between. So this, the band needs to take a break.
Yeah.
So you have a DJ in, and then you just continue dancing.
Yeah.
There's a big change compared to what it was when we were growing up and what you probably would have seen and how it is now as well in Goa.
Yeah.
But it's good. I'm happy that you got a chance to experience a little bit of the dances growing up.
Yeah, I love it. And then also my mom, she used to perform for the Soundjaws here.
Is it?
Yeah. Have you all
Okay.
been to it here?
The sound
No.
what?
Sanjang.
Sanjang.
Yeah.
Okay, Sanjang. Okay.
I don't know if am I saying it right?
I thought you said sound jams. I was like, I didn't hear of this event.
I mean, every Goan,
Yeah, it's
there's
okay.
a jam.
But yeah, Sanjang. Yeah. Oh,
She plays. Is she like she's part of a group or something that does something?
She used to be a few years ago. So she performed at the Soundjaws, I think like once or twice.
Okay.
But that's also like a whole Goan feast. Everyone jumps in the pool. I don't get what the concept is.
Okay.
Like I don't know what the Sanjang is about.
okay.
So it's the rains.
But it's basically celebrating Saint John the Baptist, right?
Okay.
That's and,
Wasn't
and
it like about wells though? Was it rain or
Yeah,
wells?
in Goa they jump in the wells.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
so
usually,
they-
and it's usually during the monsoons.
Yeah, it's usually done in
The
the
water
monsoon.
concept is that thing. That's probably why they jumped into pools over here. What you saw.
I think it's something to do with baptizing in a way, right? With Saint John the Baptist, and that's why I'm sorry. We have to-
I think I missed that catechism class.
Bad boy, come to Father
Yeah.
Lovejoy for confessions. But yeah, no, I know it's basically Saint John the Baptist. You're celebrating the feast, and yeah, they would jump in the wells,
Yeah.
and it's during the monsoons, as he said. And yeah, here of course in Dubai you can't find whales. So they jump in
Did
the
y'all
pool.
ever jump in a well?
No,
No.
never.
I can't swim to save my life. I have a fear of water. I will not swim. I don't get into the water.
But
at all.
actually, it's like these guys who are, you could say they are sort of skilled in a way. They are pros, who jump in the well.
Yeah, it sounds
because
dangerous.
they would climb up, and these guys are the ones who climb up coconut trees, and you know what I mean? They are like, they know how to do it. So not everyone would jump in the well. It's, like you said, it's a bit dangerous. But now it's like in the pools and swimming pool and things like that. Or you basically get wet in the rain. You go out in the rain and that's it. Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of drinking as well. That's how it's celebrated. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anything you like look forward to when you visit Goa? Like anything you
For me, it's the family, right? Like if you don't have the right people to celebrate with, then it's no fun. So I have like my cousins there. I've got my aunties and uncles. So they always make it fun for me. Last time we went for karaoke.
Okay.
And you know how karaoke is. Like everyone's drinking, but they also like to make the singer sing.
Yeah.
The singer does not like to sing at family events. Let's get that straight, okay? Every time I go to a birthday party, all my uncles and aunties are like, come sing, take the mic. And it's just like,
I was going to ask you, did your mom make you like when you were young, come on, sing in front of the uncle, aunts and all?
So when I was young, I actually did not like singing. Because my mom used to sing so much. It was part of her job as well. She used to work in a bank. She used to sing, do all, like everything to like support us. And she used to sing all the time because she loved it. And because she sang all the time, I hated it. Like I wanted her to stop. So I did not actually like it when I was younger. And she actually made me sing at Global Village.
Oh, wow.
When I was like 8.
Okay.
And I sang My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
And of course, the proud mother that she is, she was like, oh my God, look, it's my daughter, it's my daughter. And it was like thousands. You know how Global Village is. It's crazy. It's full. And it was the Indian pavilion. So it's like manic. But imagine a small 8-year-old girl who was forced by her mother to go on stage.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
I guess maybe that was the
so
start,
that kind
right?
of triggered you in the sense, or
No.
no?
No. No, it was only later on when my father, he got me my first guitar when I was like 13. And then I started learning myself. So I didn't go for classes or anything.
Wow.
I just went on like guitar tabs, looked at like, finger placement on there.
Okay.
Wow.
And then just tried it that way.
So I read that you play 3 instruments, right?
Yeah, the third one doesn't count, but I play the guitar a bit, the piano a bit, and then the ukulele, which does not count.
No,
Yeah.
it counts. I'm sure it counts. My daughter plays the ukulele, so it counts.
Okay. Sorry. It definitely counts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the fact that it's a big turnaround for you to actually say that you didn't want to get into singing, and then suddenly you had this turnaround.
Yeah.
And, today where you are.
Yeah.
So when did that light bulb go on?
Switch.
When did that switch go on where you said, you know what, this is what I want to do?
So I've always loved music because I grew up with it, right? So I've always had a passion for music. It was just that I did not want to sing because my mother wanted me to sing. I think that's like any rebellious child.
Yeah.
At that time I wanted to dance, and then when I was around 11, I started auditioning for theater like musicals in Dubai.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was like a part of Annie, High School Musical 2, Hairspray, the very famous
nice.
Cats as well.
Okay.
And then once
Was
I got
it at that Dubai Community Center or something like that?
it was they had
Mall
that
of the Emirates?
at Mall of the Emirates, exactly.
Right,
yeah,
that
they had
one.
some
Okay.
there. They
Okay.
had some at the Jumeirah Souk
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
They had
alright,
the big
alright.
theater.
So you were part of that
Yeah.
group. Okay.
I mean, you have to audition
Right.
every single
okay.
time for each play. You needed to audition, and I was like maybe one out of the 3 Indians in the whole play.
Wow,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, wow,
because it's like
nice.
West End production and stuff.
Yeah.
And then once I got my guitar, I think I posted my first cover on YouTube, which was Jason Mraz's "I'm Yours,"
Okay.
and I got some good feedback. Just like how you guys are like doing the podcast. I think that motivated me to keep going.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So when you did the auditions, you said they were for musicals, right?
Yeah.
So it was
Dancing, acting, singing,
the whole
everything
9
in
yards.
one.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything, you're auditioning for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then out of everything, you kind of realized that singing is the way forward, kind of?
I still love it all. Like even when I'm on stage, I dance. You know, like I still love it.
Okay.
Sometimes I can be dramatic. I don't know. Maybe that's the theater in me.
Right.
So I still love it all. But yeah, music is like one of my main forms of expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
No, I've seen the TED talk that you did at the university, and then the small little thing where you got a little bit dramatic. So kudos, well done.
Okay. I need to watch that video.
yeah.
See,
She's having a small little. She's motivating everyone to a TED talk, and then she tells everyone, she's like, "Listen, I'm going to get dramatic right now," and she does. And like I think about like a 40-second skit where she's like, throwing her heart out into the expressions and stuff like that.
Oh my
Well
God.
done, yeah.
Where was that? Which year was that?
I think I was 16. I was like
Okay.
the youngest speaker
Okay.
there, and I was very nervous. And fun fact, I forgot the whole speech before I got on stage.
Yeah.
It was
wow.
because I'm not a public speaker.
Right,
Like
right,
I'm
yeah.
a performer, but
Right.
public speaking, I've never really done it. So that was my first like actual speech, and I was so nervous. I'm always nervous.
Where
even-
was it? Was it in a university?
They had
or-
it at the Manipal University.
Manipal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
nice.
good. That's great.
And coming now to how did Jessie J happen?
So that's an interesting one because I felt like I didn't have much to do with it, but it happened. There was a radio competition,
Right.
a
Okay.
Virgin Radio competition. So Chris Fade, Rossi, and Priti Malik, they were all there.
Okay.
And they, like, basically you could vote to have the main artist of the Red Fest Festival to
Okay.
come to your school.
Okay.
Okay.
So they had the
Do
competition.
you have a choice of artists or something?
No,
like that?
it's the main act.
Just the main act.
So Jessie J was the main
Jessie
act.
J was
yeah.
the main act. Okay.
And like I think 2 days before we found out that our school won. I
Okay.
hadn't even voted because I didn't know about the competition.
Right. Okay.
But we
okay.
found out our school won, and coincidentally, I wrote my first original song 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Honestly, I believe everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that happened, and then my mom was like, "You have to sing your original song."
Okay.
So because I was one of the main like musical people in my school made me in charge of like all the music happening that day.
Right.
So I was like training the other students, like we were learning all of Jessie J's songs. I was like, delegating which person does what, the rapper, all of that kind of stuff. And I asked my teacher, like, could I sing my original song? And they said no.
Okay.
They only wanted me to sing
Like a
Jessie
cover
J's
song?
music.
Ah,
Only
Jessie
Jessie
J.
J's music.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like no original music.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, okay, like, you can't really go against your teacher.
Yeah.
And I go home and my mom was like, no, you have to do it. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I didn't really know why. Like of course I want to impress like an amazing UK sensation,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I never
yeah.
really, at the age of 16, I don't know if I really realized what could have happened.
Okay.
And the day came, we're all performing, I did some of the covers as well. And then Jessie J does her song. She performs like after all the students perform. And while she's performing, I go up to Chris Fade and I'm like, I have this original song. Can I please sing it? And no one had heard the song at this point except for my mom and then 2 other like performers in my school.
Okay.
And when I played it for them before the event started, they were like, you have to sing it too. So they came with me. We were like holding hands and they were like, can Esther sing the song? And I was like, can I sing the song? And he was like, I don't know. We're running out of time because the concert was the same night.
Okay.
So she had to leave our school and then go to sound check at the main venue.
Right.
So she didn't
Okay.
have much time.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're running out of time. Can't get you on stage. She finishes singing and then he announces into the mic without telling me, we have this 16-year-old girl who has a song for you. Let's make this happen. Let's get her on stage. So they have this chair. I'm like shaking, super nervous, I start playing guitar. And he looks at me and he says, if you do not start in 10 seconds, we're getting you off. So he's standing like facing me while I'm on stage and the whole school's watching and Jessie J. And he's counting down while I'm playing guitar. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
and then I start singing and he stops, thankfully.
Okay.
So I sing my first verse, my chorus, and then Jessie J stops me. And she's like, you know what? I like it so much. Can I record it on my phone? Can you start again? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
No
sure.
pressure.
So I start singing the whole song again. And once I was done, she went on to say how much she loved it, and she wanted me to perform it the same night at her concert.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
So imagine like a girl with braces, hair braided in a school uniform, and then I completely like transform, full makeup, hair left, dressed up, and I'm performing in front of like over 11,000 people.
Wow. What was that like? How did you feel?
It was so surreal and emotional. And my mom, of course, like I called my mom right away, and she was like, "I'm leaving work. I'm coming to pick you up. We're gonna go and get ready." So she was really proud, and I think that's where like my journey really started, because even though like I was a part of musical activities in school and stuff,
Right.
I think knowing, like I went to a British curriculum school, but it was run by like Indians and Asians and stuff like that. So for them, music was never really a focus. Like I had it,
Okay.
but it's not necessarily.
So they had like a music.
I had a music class that I stopped being a part of because they started taking me out of like main classes, like sciences and maths and stuff like that. So my mom, of course, wanted me to focus on my studies too.
Okay.
But then it was still not like nurtured a lot. Like you sing,
Yeah.
and that's it, and that's about it. But you don't really go into the depth of like what music can be.
Yeah.
So I don't think I fully like growing up. I didn't fully explore what music was for me. But then once I started posting the YouTube videos, once the whole Jessie J thing happened, I really felt encouraged and felt like this could be something for me.
Okay, very good, great. I mean, it's a fantastic story.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's, it's I would say a one in a million, or one in a trillion.
Yeah, it
degree
felt like a
opportunity.
movie. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's I can't imagine the excitement, not only for you, for your mom as well. I mean, at that point of time, she's nurtured you and pushed you in that direction. So it's like winning the lottery, I'm sure. Yeah. So great. So then post that, it was obviously it pushed you to another level, I would imagine.
When did the album come across? Like, when did that come about?
How did you reach
the
from
universal
that
music
to the album?
So I think I mean, of course, when you have like a UK pop sensation who believes in you, it really pushes you to do more.
Okay.
So that was my first song called Is This Love that I performed at that festival. And then I continued to write music. So of course, with that event came like my online bullying experience, and just it pushed me to write more music. And by the end of that year, I think I had enough music to release an album, which was my album Solitaire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was approached by like 2 different labels, and we ended up signing with Universal Music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was another. It was good. I mean, for you to. So how do you get? I mean, Universal approaches you, or you use.
How does that? How does that
happen?
work? Like,
I think we also knew like a few musicians already in Dubai who had these connections, and was like, I think you'd be really good with this label. So it was through connections, also through like everything that had happened. And yeah, my mom turned into my momager.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And she had a meeting with them, and then
Oh,
Yeah.
but
made
is it
happen.
mostly it's the Universal or the records with the MENA region, right?
Yeah. Yes,
And
MENA
is
region.
it maybe do they focus more on the Arab artists mostly, or
Yeah, I think as the years went on, I realized that they do focus more on the Arabic music, which is great. Like, you do need to push this region's music. It's
of
There's
course,
so much amazing,
local
talented,
talent,
talent people here that they can push. So they're doing really well on that front.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I was interested to know that you actually. So then you went on for your further studies, and you did your degree in
Songwriting, yeah.
That's interesting.
I didn't know there was a degree.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh,
either,
yeah.
I mean,
like.
so what was that? I mean, how was
Where
that?
was that? Which university is this? Or-
So this is called the British and Irish Institute of Modern Music,
Okay.
also known as BIM.
okay.
And they had branches like all over the UK, and they happen to have one in Germany as well, and one in Ireland. And they have like very famous people that have gone there as well.
All right.
So
Okay.
it was amazing to be able to like go to another country, because initially we thought, like I was raised by a single mom, and she's like single-handedly brought me up.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'll probably be doing my education here because it's the easiest bet.
Yeah.
And in Dubai at that time, they didn't really have like music education. They had music production, I think, in NYU, Abu Dhabi, and history there. But
Okay.
and then they had like production in SAE here as well in Dubai, but not really like in terms of vocals and like actually performing arts.
Right.
So my mom happened to like do her own research without telling me, and she found BIM, and she asked me to apply. So I got accepted, and we thought, let's go and see Berlin in Germany, because I had been to the UK, and I think I liked Brighton
Right.
a lot because it's very like student centered and like
Okay.
it's just quite warm,
Right.
and I love that in a city.
Okay.
But I went to Berlin and I fell in love.
Right. Yeah.
like-
Yeah. I haven't been to Berlin, but heard so many things, seen photos, and a lot of it's a creative center, I
Yeah.
would say, of
Yeah.
Germany.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? You speak a little bit of German after being in Berlin for 3 years?
Ich verstehe ein bisschen Deutsch.
Ah, okay. I didn't understand a word you said.
Well, you asked me.
Good. Yeah.
You asked me if I spoke.
No, I thought I'd show off a little bit, but no, it doesn't work for me.
To be honest, that's one of the only sentences I know too. So
No, but I mean, how was living in Berlin for you for 3 years?
I loved it.
Is
like
it?
the people, it's very multicultural. So you don't really feel out of place at all. It's like another version of Dubai, but less skyscrapers and less nightclubs and
Yeah.
Okay.
just less
The bling,
buildings.
less
period.
bling,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I just loved it. It was multicultural. There was so much art, so much music. You just like walk down the street and you see like someone playing in a bar or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So I loved that feeling of community. And I know different people have different experiences, because they generally say like Germans are very like tough and rough and, you know, straight and honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love that. Like, I love that people were honest and people would give you like constructive criticism, and there's just so much to learn.
It's good.
And when did you get back from Germany? When did you-
So I ended up graduating during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was interesting because considering I was doing like a songwriting course and some of my exams and my modules included performing, I was planning a whole concert to revolve around my second album, My Own Way.
Right.
Okay.
And the pandemic hit, which meant no one could sing,
Yeah.
because they had that thing where if you're a singer, your saliva like goes twice as far as when you
right.
talk.
Yeah.
So that was like stopped for ages.
Oh,
And then I had to like change my whole dissertation to like, I don't even remember what I changed it to, but that I remember like recording myself in a bedroom performing with a mic stand. You know, it was so weird.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting experience. I think the whole world had an very
of course,
interesting.
yeah, you can. I mean, it's a
We
bit
all
sad.
went.
I feel sad that you didn't able to, experience that. But I'm sure it will come sooner. I mean, the whole concert and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean now concerts are definitely getting back, so it's okay in that front. But then I found other things that, I realized I was passionate about. So I ended up staying there for an extra year, because actually I wasn't allowed to come back because the flights were not coming back to Dubai that time.
Right. Okay.
So I was sort of stuck there in a way. And my mom, of course, she was like, she was alone here.
Yeah.
She was scared for me because so many people were like dying around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
But I made it.
Right,
I came back. It was
great, yeah.
safe.
But when the second album happened,
It was all released during the pandemic.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, yeah, there you go. So 2020 was a good year in some way.
Actually, much better than I ever thought it could have. Like one of my songs reached around 600,000 to 700,000 streams on Spotify,
Wow.
which is more than like
Yeah, I
any
saw
of my
that
music
actually
has.
on Spotify was
Yeah.
looking. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
I guess everyone was stuck at home, right? So they had no choice but to listen to the album.
But I've always been curious about the, back then, growing up, right? We had CDs. And then you had what do you call that? Illegal, pirated, downloading Napster and these kind of things. And now you have Spotify. You think it's now controlled, like in terms of sale of music? Is it still being like bootlegged in a way, or do you get like people illegal downloading that sort of thing
So-
happening now?
I think it depends on where you are.
Right.
I know that it definitely happens here. Like I remember when I released, some of my first songs, and my classmates would be like, "Hi, I got it for free," and I'm like, "Guys, this is not how you support my music."
Yeah,
right?
I think back then when you came out with the album, I think Spotify was not so
I don't
popular at back then, I think.
I don't remember if they had Spotify at
Yeah,
the time.
maybe it didn't.
They had
yeah, they
Apple
didn't have-
Music.
Apple Music was
Yeah.
there, right?
Spotify was introduced into the region quite recently. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
been too long.
So when you launched it, how was it? Was it launched through Apple Music?
It was Apple Music, YouTube,
Okay.
all the other platforms.
Platforms.
Yeah.
So
Pandora,
if I had to
things like
purchase
that.
a song or
Yeah.
the album, where would I go? I would go on Apple Music.
Yeah,
back
anywhere,
then. Yeah.
any streaming service that you prefer, you'll
Right.
be able to access the music.
And what about CDs? Did you have CDs like or
Well,
stupid question, but did you like
it's
did you
not a
make at the
stupid
time?
question. No, so it's not a stupid question. I
Right.
think like for me at that time it didn't make sense just
Right.
because the world was getting more digitalized.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
think it depends also on like where you are. So for example, in Germany, a lot of buskers, do you guys know what buskers are?
Buskers, no.
Buskers are people that just perform on the streets.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
they just
okay,
like bring
okay.
out the guitar, bring out their drums, whatever they want,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
perform in
yeah,
the streets. They like open up their guitar case, sell their merch, sell their
Right.
CDs, promote their music, just things like that. So
Yeah.
their CDs come in handy because people will personally like give you their music.
Yeah.
Whereas here, busking is not necessarily allowed unless it's controlled.
Right, right.
So here you don't have that opportunity to like do that. And it's fine because then here you have all the like everyone is so on their phones all the time that
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
you don't really need it here.
But are musicians, because I read a lot about this, like the business of music,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are they earning well? Are they making money like the musicians nowadays? It's because of these algorithms and all that. I
Yeah.
mean, is it easy or difficult? How would you put it? Like the musicians today, like I know everyone can
Yeah.
compose a song in
Yeah.
their bedroom, right? It's
Yeah.
so easy nowadays, but it's so tough with so many musicians out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like compared to back in the day, like you really had to impress the record companies.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you have, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like Billie Eilish,
I
for
love
example.
Billie Eilish.
You don't like
I know, I love her.
Okay, okay,
I love
okay,
her. I
sorry.
think she's great. She's a
yeah.
she's
And
a true artist.
She
you know?
started out from the bedroom, right? Like in a
Yeah.
way, her brother and
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So would you say, is it difficult now for like a startup musician to come up with an album? And
For sure. I think because of digitalization,
the competition is fierce and heavy.
I wouldn't call it competition. I would just say it's easier to reach talented artists. Like because at that time y'all did not have the internet.
True,
Yeah.
true.
It was very hard to get your music out there. Whereas now
Right.
it's so easy. Like it
Yeah.
depends on your perspective, right? From an artist perspective, for sure, unless you're Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Ed Sheeran,
Yeah.
any of those names, it's hard to make money.
Yeah.
Because you need to have at least like 1 million or more streams.
And I think unless you go viral
Yeah,
on TikTok
unless you have
or
like a
something
one-hit
like that.
song,
Yeah.
it really depends. But even then, like any job, anything, it's consistency. So
Right.
if you're able to get like hits, that's just not a one-hit wonder, and you get more, then great. But if you don't, it is a struggle. So I think like musicians' main source of income is performing.
Yeah,
You earn through the amount of shows you do.
Right. Yeah. Because I was watching this interview with the rapper Ice-T. I don't know if you heard of him, Ice-T. So, and he said that, back in the day, you would listen to the whole album. Like today, you can just buy a song. You don't have to listen to the full album.
Yeah.
So it's changed.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, old school musicians, they love like how they worked with music at the time.
Yeah.
And it's changed so much. Now it's like you can just pick a song.
Yeah.
But I'm a little old school. I'd listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone is like that nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the audience that you have. But yeah, some people, they like the whole album, the whole experience. And even artists, I think we're starting to get a lot more creative on how we even curate the album. Like I just heard Olivia Rodrigo.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all know her? Okay, great.
I read about it, but I didn't listen to us yet.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we know very well.
I think she's going. Just remove
So
the
we're hitting into Gen
Rodriguez.
Z.
Maybe Rodrigo.
Let's hit into Gen Z right now.
I mean, she's this really new, like young, amazing pop, like
Okay.
rock artist fusion. I don't even know what you call it.
Okay.
But I was listening to her album because I also like going through the album, and you see the way like each song moves to the next. It's so curated that you want to listen to the full thing. So
Right,
artists nowadays just need to get more creative on how they
I think it's
make
that
a whole
that
masterpiece.
one song should really speak, and then
Yeah.
it'll push you to listen to the
the
other
full
songs.
thing,
Yeah. All right. So I think
We don't. Yeah, we actually have taken up a lot of time. Yes, we have to wrap up very quickly. But thank you very much, Esther, for being with us today. It was great to celebrate your success.
Thank you so much for having me.
But before you go, anything in the
Yeah, what's
in
next?
on the horizon, like something coming up,
I
any
have
new
a-
album or
I have a few shows planned, and of course, I'm working on music all the time. Like I'm always writing. I'm always,
And-
looking for people to work with as well. So
Okay,
if there's
okay.
any producers out there, musicians,
and where they can find you? Where can
anywhere online, if
Okay.
you just type in Esther Eden Music,
they? Okay,
you should be able to find me.
So on all the platforms
Yeah.
and everything. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I think we need to we need to do one valor for her mom.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
mom,
yeah,
the
definitely,
mom,
yeah.
you call
Momager?
it Momager,
Momager?
Momager. So to Amber,
yeah.
Yeah, so-
Amber Fernandez, right?
Amber Fernandez. Yeah,
Yeah.
well done, Mom. I think she's, Valor is what our segment where we appreciate or we show respect.
Valor
Oh,
means
sweet.
respect.
Yeah. Valor
Sweet.
is Konkani for respect. So on all episodes, we try and put in one or two Valors for a couple of people. I think we need to respect or give her respect for the fact that she's pushed. She needs to be celebrated for Esther's success as
Yes,
well.
of course. Yeah.
So well done, Mom.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hail Amber.
Yeah,
I hope to see her next time.
yeah,
to
we
meet
hope
her.
to see her too. Yeah.
Everyone loves my mom.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I'm sure about it.
Yeah.
Great. So,
thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Great.
Esther.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me as well.
Yeah,
it's been a
been
pleasure.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Great. Before we
Yeah,
wrap up,
lovely show. Yeah,
before we wrap up, anything interesting for us, Carrie?
Oh yeah, one interesting fact which it's kind of conflicting actually.
Okay.
About Bob Marley.
Okay. No, you're sticking with the music, huh? Thing.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
sticking with the music.
The theme of
and,
music, okay.
Did you know that he sings a little bit in Konkani
What?
in one of his tracks? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's like conflicting kind of stories about it.
Okay.
So we don't know. And the story goes that there was this Goan guy.
Okay.
And he ended up living in Kingston.
Okay.
Because he's got a Rastafarian wife.
Okay.
That's Jamaican, right?
Okay.
So, and he used to play the saxophone.
Okay.
And he would kind of jam up with Bob Marley.
Is it?
Yeah, back
Wow.
in the day in his
Okay.
studio.
Okay.
And he would play the saxophone. And apparently he's like composed his own song, which
Okay.
is in Konkani, Tujhe Bapa Che Kehta Hoon.
It's a song?
Yeah, he composed it.
Okay.
The guy, we can't find his name. So yeah, the saxophonist, the Goan saxophonist. So he composed the song, and he used to play the song a lot.
Okay.
And Bob Marley and his friends would always call him like Tujhe Bapa Che Kehta Hoon. They would always, whenever he passed by or anything like that.
Okay.
And that's when apparently he was like walking in the studio, and Bob Marley was recording his song, which was Iron Lion Zion.
Okay.
And he says Tujhe Bapa Che Kehta Hoon.
So it's there in the lyrics.
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
there in the lyrics. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you go and forward to like 1 minute 53 seconds or 43, keep your ear glued to the speaker, you can find him saying Tujhe Bapa Che Kehta Hoon. So yeah. So that's, now we don't know whether this is true, but
I mean, if
yeah.
you can hear it in the lyric, then so
yeah,
be it,
and
right?
there's no evidence, like if you check the lyrics, right, of
Okay.
the song,
Okay.
there's no mention of it. Like there's
Okay.
no line or anything.
Okay.
Uh,
So we have to. So I guess all of us have to get. So the songs.
And Bob Marley is, Bob Marley.
Yeah. Oh
In
wow.
Konkani, Bob Marley.
Oh really?
He made noise.
Bob Marley.
That's another thing. But yeah, this is an interesting fact. I don't
Wow,
know if
it's
anyone
interesting.
knows
I need
about
to-
this.
yeah, I need
If
to
you-
get down and
yeah,
have a
if
look and
anyone
hear this.
knows about this,
I mean,
please
all of us
share
can
with
hear
us.
on it, right? I'm sure if you
Yeah,
go into
if
our
you
podcast.
check on your Spotify, check if you have that song Iron Lions Iron. And yeah, so that's an
Great.
interesting fact.
That's
And
interesting. So I think we have to wrap up as
yeah,
well.
we have to wrap up. And
So-
thank you. This was an interesting episode.
yeah,
about
very
music.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting to
And,
celebrate someone who's done so well in the music industry, and we
Yeah,
wish her all
looking
the
forward
best.
to music as well.
Yeah,
like some
yeah.
new
I already got
stuff.
it. I already got her song. I told her I have it on my playlist already.
Okay. No, I'm saying like the new tracks.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
future albums and future gigs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Good.
Thank you everyone for listening. And please subscribe, like. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify. You can follow us. And we are now on YouTube as well. So please follow, subscribe, share it with your friends. And as always, if you have anything to say, you can DM us on Instagram, or you can email us on kissmeimgoan@gmail.com. All right.
That's
wrap
about
up the
it.
show. Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you so much, Neil.
Mogasu.
Mogasu.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
adios.